I'm Ryan Besson from the PopCulturists, and thanks to Nintendo Australia, I was able to go spend a good couple of hours with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I just want to get this out of the way first up. I am no Smash Bros. Expert, period. Outside of today, I've played it for the better part of like 20 minutes at like a mate's place where I got understandably smashed. So consider that with what I'm about to say about my hands-on with Ultimate. But anyway, I made the trek from Geelong into the Melbourne CBD to spend about 2 hours with this newest Nintendo Switch game. Now, the place was lovely. It was really nice, and it had this big steel cage structure in the middle, which kind of added to this nice brawl feel. With this, almost like it was a steel cage match, which I know they don't have in Smash, but it was a cool aesthetic nonetheless. So we were playing the E3 June 2018 build, so it wasn't the full release of the game, and there were some things missing. So as this wasn't the full release version of the game, we didn't have access to the full range of playable characters. In the full version, you're going to have over 60. In this build, we had 30. But this did include the Inkling and Ridley. It didn't have Simon Belmont from Castlevania or King K. Rool. Same goes for the stages. As per the August Direct, which said there's up to 103 playable stages, we did only get hands-on with about 24 of them. But once again, that did include the newly built Splatoon level and the Zelda Breath of the Wild. Now, I'll jump into those for a second. So, the Splatoon one was built on essentially 4 levels. So it's 4 levels with ramps building in. It created a really close fighting experience. Although you would find that some people might split. You have 2 people fighting up top, 2 down bottom. There was a lot of jumping in between levels. Now, myself being a pretty horrible player, I would sort of get stuck in them and not really achieve anything. But the Breath of the Wild level I liked probably more out of the 2. So it was based around the top of the lookout towers that you use to, scope out what was around you on the map. It is destructible. The little cone part at the top can be brought down to sort of have like a nice little devastating attack. It did rebuild sort of over time by itself. But yeah, I really enjoyed that level a lot. The added destructibility added a nice touch, and it was nice to sort of get a little airborne on the outskirts, but going underneath that little pointy part at the top did sort of create a nice little close quarter, not ability to jump, with just a lot of fist fighting going on under that. Like any first-party game on the Nintendo Switch, this game looks schmick. Whether it be the simpler art style of characters like Kirby, or somewhere in the middle like Mario, or even the incredibly highly detailed Ridley, it looked just fantastic. The character models in this are schmick. It really showcases off the vast range of characters, and it really captures all of the aesthetics of each game they're coming from, which I think is really impressive. There's no trying to mold and adapt them to fit a predetermined art style. It has brought in how they look in those other games. Now, this is where you may have a problem with what I have to say. To be honest, I found this game to look pretty much like every other Smash Brothers game that's come before it. Now, that's certainly not a bad thing. This game knows what it is and it runs with it. But if you are someone that has played all the previous Smash games, you're going to love it. It's exactly what you come to expect. It's exactly what I imagine you guys would want. For me, as a first timer, it was very difficult for me to really understand where everything was going. It was quite brutal. And I felt when I did have a win, or I did rocket someone off the map, I had no idea how I got to that point. However, in the same breath, when I lost, I very clearly saw how I lost. Whether it be just throws and bombs and use of weapons and being literally thrown off the side of the map. Like, unquestionably, I saw where I was how I would lose, but I didn't feel that I was capable of winning, or I wouldn't understand how I would win probably a better way of saying it. But in terms of playing it, so they did have a couple of different booths set up. They had a couple playing with Pro controllers and a couple playing with the GameCube controllers, the new fancy ones that are coming upon release in December. As someone that didn't have a GameCube, just looking at that GameCube controller, I'm like, that controller is dumb. It looks stupid. How can that be as rad as everyone says it is? Because I swear by the Pro controller. I think the Pro controller is fantastic. It's actually really, really good. But when I got that GameCube controller in my hand and we were playing some Smash with it, I totally get it. The control felt good. It felt in my hand, and having that big old A button that sort of spam attacks, it's pretty much perfect. So I can really understand why the GameCube controller just keeps coming up and up, especially when it comes to Smash. So I myself, I've pre-ordered that controller because if I'm playing Smash later in this year and we're playing it as a community with our little tournaments and stuff, I'm gonna need that controller because that shit is where it's at. Now, I'm unsure if this is a common practice in Smash as well. Correct me in the comments if that's the case. One thing I really enjoyed about how this game worked, especially in the demo, was there was at no point did we have to go, oh, we're playing with 4 players. Like in Mario Kart as an example, when you jump into that main menu, you very clearly have to state, hey, we're going to be playing with 4 players, and then it goes, all right, connect the 4 controllers, whatever. And it can put a little bit of a grinding halt to what you're doing. In this demo session, it pretty much would just assume 2 people, and then if you just press the button, you move the joystick, it goes, oh cool, there's another controller, guess what, you're in. It was smooth, it was fluid, and it really, I think it brings in what this game is meant to be. It's a real big party game. It's drop in, drop out, it's fluid, it's smooth, it's just, there is no slowdown. So an example is, there were some people playing, I wandered on over, I picked up the controller, bumped the joystick, and I'm in. No messing about, no fucking around, it just worked. I think that is a really, really good way to go about it. So what I think they're going for with this ultimate setup is twofold. They're having a big love fest, a big showcase of every Smash that's come before it. It's really showing everybody where Smash has gone, where it is now, and why you should love it, and everything that makes you love it. And I think that's a great thing for old fans coming in. And I do think by having them showcase everything that's come before, it's allowing new players like myself to really understand and appreciate it. By having every character ever playable, by showcasing every map ever, it's a great stepping point. You don't feel like you're missing out. You don't feel, or especially I don't feel, that I'm at a disadvantage for not playing the games before. Saying that though, I do really hope this game has some sort of tutorial, because I'm gonna need it something bad. Like, I'm getting stomped in this, and when I win, I don't know how. The build that we saw was solely multiplayer. There was no single player. There was really no menu per se. It was very much designed for the idea of try out some multiplayer, give it a red hot go, and then just sort of get a showcase of what the game is. Coming out of my session, I have a couple different thoughts. As I said, it still looks like visual chaos, which is certainly charming in its own right. I have no idea how it all works and what the minutia is, and all the visual noise and chaos kind of, I believe, hindered me to seeing the small little nuances in the gameplay, whether it be, throwing someone up or doing combos or sort of juggling like that. Now, I did spend some time just out of pure curiosity, and it sounds really creepy. I did watch some people's hands to see what they were doing, and when it came to me not playing, I'm like, all right, what are you doing to do all this fancy footwork that you've got going on? And I really didn't see anything. I just saw people smashing buttons. Like, I couldn't see the finesse that comes with it. Not saying it isn't there. I probably just missed it. And for that reason is why I can't wait to check it out. So as I left the session, I had a pretty good time. Granted, I got stomped viciously. I did really have the feel, the urge, the want to dive in further and play it some more. And I certainly think I will come December. It's going to take me a little bit of time to get there, with people having, potentially decades worth of experience. But I'm really glad that I went and checked it out. It was a brand new experience, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Now, I can talk more into specifics. Thankfully, there's no real major restrictions on what I had. So if you do have any questions, drop them in the comments below, and I'll answer them to the best of my abilities. So big thank you to Nintendo Australia for inviting us and letting me come down there and spend some time with Smash Brothers Ultimate. Well, I think it's Super Smash Brothers Ultimate is its full name. But no, I had a really, really good time, and I'm very looking forward to when the game drops at the end of the year. But until then, I'm Ryan Betson from the PopCulturists, and that was our hands-on preview with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch.